This is a shakedown. I'm going to be open, transparent, and defend myself because this isn't right.
That was Shannon Sharpe defending himself against grooming claims, leaked tapes, and a career-ending lawsuit. The Hall of Famer rose from a home with no plumbing to a $100 million empire, then watched it all crumble when he had the most to lose. Let's break down the tragic story of Shannon Sharpe, the boy from Glenville who built a Hall of Fame career. Shannon Sharpe was born on June 26, 1968 in Chicago, but raised in Glenville, Georgia. He grew up alongside his older brother Sterling, who would also go on to an NFL career. Their grandmother, Mary Porter, raised them. The conditions were hard. Sharpe described them himself.
Because I grew up in rural South Georgia, and I didn't really take a shower in a house until I was in the NFL.
Think about that for a second. A grown man in a professional locker room, finally standing under indoor water for the first time. He kept going.
We drank well water. I went outside the first 20 years.
This wasn't the 1940s or the 1950s. This was the 80s. He said the first time he used a bathroom inside someone's house was September of 1988, when his brother bought their grandmother a home at Glenville High School. Sharpe was a multi-sport athlete. He even set a triple jump record in the state of Georgia that, by his brother's account, still stands. But it was at Savannah State University, a small HBCU, where his football future took shape. He played wide receiver, earned all CX honors, and helped lead the team to an 8-1 record in his senior year of 1989, setting school records for receiving yards, touchdowns, and yards per catch. Still, the NFL didn't come calling early. Sharpe was selected by the Denver Broncos in the 7th round, 192nd overall of the 1990 NFL Draft. A late pick, a long shot, and the wait on draft day stung. His brother Sterling remembered the night.
And so I don't get a call.
Sterling, already in the league, came into the room to talk to him. The message was simple.
All you want is a change.
The next morning, the call came from Dan Reeves. Shannon was going to Denver, but here's the part Sterling never let him forget, said with a brother's laugh.
I didn't realize you going to Denver, being in the NFL, I was still paying all your bills.
That was the twofold thing for Sterling. His little brother was in the same league he was, and he was still footing the bills. But Sterling also knew something else. He'd seen Shannon's mindset up close.
So I know I can do it, but wait till they get a load of me, because they getting ready to see somebody that got no pride.
Sterling called that the most dangerous kind of person. No pride, no ego, and he was right. Sharpe struggled at first. He moved from wide receiver to tight end and fought for playing time. The breakout came in his third season, 1992, when he led the Broncos in receiving with 53 catches for 640 yards and earned his first Pro Bowl selection. From there, he took off. Over a 14-year career from 1990 to 2003, mostly with Denver, and a 2-year stint with the Baltimore Ravens, Sharpe played in 204 regular season games and finished with 815 receptions for 1,060 receiving yards and 62 touchdowns. He became the first tight end in NFL history to pass 10-0 receiving yards. At his retirement, he held the all-time records for receptions, yards, and touchdowns at the position. What set him apart wasn't just the numbers, it was the way he played. He had speed, size, and a mouth that never stopped. He could stretch the field like a receiver and still block. His 1996 season stood out. He recorded 107 receiving yards, a single-season record for tight ends that held for over a decade. The accolades piled up: 8 Pro Bowl selections, 4 first-team All-Pro honors, and a spot on the NFL's 1990s All-Decade team. And the rings followed. Sharpe was central to the Broncos' back-to-back Super Bowl wins, in 32 and 33 alongside John Elway. He later added a third ring with the Ravens in Super Bowl 35. One playoff moment stands forever: a record-setting 96-yard touchdown reception, one of the longest in postseason history. In 2011, he was inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. His speech is remembered as one of the most emotional in the ceremony's history. He honored his grandmother. He called himself the second-best player in his own family, a tribute to Sterling, who was later inducted in 2025 with Shannon presenting him. He was a late-round pick from a small school who outworked everyone. The boy who showered outside for 20 years ended up in Canton. That should have been the whole story. It wasn't. The grandmother who gave him everything but life. To understand Shannon Sharpe's pain, you have to understand the woman who raised him. Mary Porter already had 9 children of her own. She took in Shannon, his brother Sterling, and his sister Libby when Shannon was just 3 months old. The family lived in a cinder block home with cement floors, a tin roof, no indoor plumbing, and often 7 to 14 people sharing the space. Sharpe has described a survival mode mindset that set in around age 9 and never fully left. He said many times that his grandmother was the most important person in his life, the person who, in his own words, gave him everything but life. And the bond ran deeper than most people realize. Sharpe explained it himself.
People like you have to understand, like the relationship, because I slept in the bed with my grandmother till I was 15.
Even when his grandfather died, he didn't move. He stayed with his granny. He once told her he'd sleep there until he was grown, and she had to run him off. But here's the thing about Mary Porter. She wasn't a woman of soft words. Sharpe revealed something that surprises people.
In my 44 years, I don't think my grandmother ever told me she loved me.
She didn't say it, she showed it. And that distinction shaped everything about how Shannon Sharpe loves people to this day. Then came the goodbye. In 2011, a Denver writer was doing a Hall of Fame story, and Shannon spent the day showing him the old house, the old schools, his high school coach. When he got back to the nursing home, his grandmother was crying. He sat on the bed with her, and he understood what she needed to hear.
I said, Granny, I got it. I said, Libby, Spanky, Mama, I got them. You can go.
He told her to let go. He told her he had it. He told her your baby's going to hold it down. And the reason he had to say it is the most heartbreaking part. She'd raised 3 the hard way. She'd raised her own 9. She needed to know her work was done.
She needed to hear me say it. Granny, I got it.
6 days later, around his birthday, she told his sister Libby and his mother to go home. She said she couldn't rest with them there. They normally stayed until evening. That day, they left early, and shortly after, Miss Mary was gone. She didn't want them to see her go. She could only leave once her baby told her he had it. Mary Porter passed away on July 6, 2011, at age 89 from complications related to diabetes. Exactly 1 month before his Hall of Fame induction, the grandmother who fueled his entire drive didn't live to see Canton. The loss changed him. In interviews, Sharpe has said that when his granny died, a part of him died with her, that he won't ever love the same. He's described walking out of rooms when her memory surfaces. He's talked about struggling to sleep because he can't turn his mind off, and the grief never resolved. Years later on Nightcap, Ocho asked him about losing his own grandmother, and Shannon opened up about the silence that haunts him.
And I'm still waiting on the sign. Like some kind of sign, like talk to me. I go to the graveyard.
He goes to the gravesite, he plays his gospel, he tells them he's there, that he won't tell anybody, that he's listening. And the answer is always the same.
Nothing. And I still haven't gotten a sign.
That's a man who built a Hall of Fame career to honor someone who can't see it. The grief shaped how he treated everyone else, too. He admitted he was consumed by football to a fault.
I was a terrible father. I probably was a terrible brother, a terrible son.
He said football was the most important thing because he wanted to lift his family out of the conditions he grew up in. He didn't want his kids to spend 1 hour, let alone a year. The way he did, he provided, but he paid for it in connection. The boy who slept beside his grandmother until he was 15 learned love through action, not words. And when she left, he kept providing, kept holding it down, kept waiting for a sign that never came. That's where the heartbreak lives. Not in the records, in the silence at the grave. The cancer he hid and the second career he built. Behind the confidence was a body fighting a quiet war. Sharpe was diagnosed with prostate cancer in 2016, right as he was about to take his job at Fox. He'd been getting checked since his 30s because of his family history. He explained why.
And my dad died at 39. 2 of my dad's brothers barely made the age of 50. One died in his 40s.
So he stayed on top of it. The routine visit was supposed to be nothing, but this time, the doctor who always called him personally didn't call. A woman called instead, and Shannon knew.
She's like, I want to talk to you about your labs. Would you, your colonoscopy.
He asked why his doctor didn't call. She said this was her purview. And in classic Shannon fashion, he didn't want the big words.
Shoot it to me straight now, like we on the corner now.
So she did. Prostate cancer, early stages, they'd monitor it. By the time he could get back in, around February, it had progressed. When doctors talked about removing the prostate, Shannon refused.
Whatever God gave me, I'm gonna keep it. I got my tonsils, I got my wisdom teeth.
He chose the least invasive option. He had blood work drawn every 6 months for 2 years, and he's been in remission ever since. But he never forgot the feeling.
But it's just like, man, your heart dropped.
He kept the diagnosis private, telling only a handful of close family at the time. Now he uses his platform to push early screening, especially among black men who face higher risks. He said it plain.
A lot of times we, especially black men,
I done been through it now.
God got to be sitting at the foot of the bed before we go to the doctor.
Early detection saved him. That's the message he repeats. And while he fought that battle privately, he was building a second career publicly. After retiring in 2003, Sharpe joined CBS Sports as an analyst on the NFL Today, contributing for nearly a decade. His big break came in 2016 when he joined FS1 to co-host Skip and Shannon, Undisputed alongside Skip Bayless. The show became a phenomenon, thriving for 7 years on fiery debate. Then he bet on himself. In 2020, he launched Club Shay Shay under his own own production company, Shay Shay Media. What started as candid conversation became a podcasting force. The turning point came with his January 2024 interview with comedian Cat Williams, which exploded in popularity and even drew a Saturday Night Live parody. Guests like Megan Thee Stallion and Kamala Harris followed. He added Nightcap in 2023, a casual sports talk show with Chad Ochocinco Johnson. And in 2023, after parting ways with Undisputed, he joined ESPN's First Take alongside Stephen A. Smith. He had it all. Network TV and his own platforms. That ownership mattered to him. He's talked about why he never opened himself up to the public, why he stays private even in relationships.
People can't F up what they don't know about.
He explained the rest of the philosophy. The moment people know something about you, they'll try to make it up. So he stayed to himself.
The moment somebody knows about something, they'll try to make it up.
He even warned, almost prophetically, about how lies spread. He brought up a Michael Jackson song.
Michael Jackson said, be careful. He said, because the lies will become the truth.
People repeat a lie enough, he said, and they start to believe it. Then they start telling it for you. He'd survived cancer in silence. He'd built an empire he owned outright. He'd protected his privacy on purpose. And then, all at once, the privacy he guarded so carefully would be ripped wide open. The lawsuit, the leak, and the allegations that changed everything. This is where the tragedy turns. On April 20, 2025, a civil lawsuit was filed in Clark County, Nevada, under the name Jane Doe, later identified as Gabriela Zuniga, an OnlyFans creator who was around 19 to 20 when she met Sharpe in 2023 at a Los Angeles gym. The complaint sought at least $50 million in damages for sexual assault, battery, and related claims. It described a nearly 2-year relationship that the suit said deteriorated into abuse. The breakdown was covered everywhere. On The Breakfast Club, the case was laid out in detail.
So Shannon Sharpe is being accused of sexual assault and there is a young woman.
The reporting continued. She met him at 19 in a gym in 2023, didn't know who he was, and the relationship grew from there.
He began to get really aggressive, but at this point, she was already in it. She says that he was manipulative, he would threaten to choke her.
The suit alleged he refused to accept no, that he secretly recorded encounters, and that he made a threat when she tried to share her location with friends.
He tells her and threatens her allegedly to say that like he will effing kill her if she ever does that again.
Sharpe and his legal team, including attorney Lanny Davis, denied everything. They called the lawsuit a blatant and cynical attempt to shake down him for millions. They revealed Zuniga's identity and released explicit text messages they said proved a consensual, adult dynamic. Then Sharpe spoke directly to the camera.
To my family, friends, supporters, and colleagues, I want to speak to you directly and from the heart.
He called it a shakedown. He went after the attorney by name.
This is all being orchestrated by Tony Busby, who has targeted Jay-Z. Tony Busby targets black men.
He claimed a tape edit was coming and dared the attorney to release the full thing.
Hey Tony, instead of releasing your edit, put the whole video out. I don't have it, or I would myself.
The attorney pushed back hard. On The Breakfast Club, Busby's response was relayed. He said Sharpe was a liar, that the video had been made available for him to view in full at the office, and that Sharpe declined.
He chose to offer a substantial amount of money instead, which my client ultimately rejected.
But there was a layer underneath all of this. This wasn't the first storm. Months earlier, on September 11, 2024, Sharpe's Instagram account accidentally went live, broadcasting audio of him with a woman referred to as Michelle. He first said he was hacked, then clarified on Nightcap that he'd thrown his phone on the bed and activated the live by mistake. He said he was disappointed in myself for letting his family down, and the case dragged up old comments too. A resurfaced Nightcap clip about dating preferences drew heavy criticism. In it, Sharpe said the real competition for older men was them young ones, contrasting older women's independence with younger women's perceived compliance. Given the age gap in the lawsuit, the timing made it worse. Stephen A. Smith, who brought Sharpe to ESPN, addressed it carefully.
And I can tell you all that I spoke to Shannon, not in details, but I spoke to him, and he emphatically proclaims his innocence.
But Stephen A. also pointed out the bind. He noted he wasn't there and couldn't speak to guilt or innocence.
According to Mr. Busby, his client emphatically proclaims his guilt. So where does that leave us?
After negotiations, the parties reached a settlement in mid-July 2025, with the lawsuit dismissed with prejudice. Financial terms weren't disclosed. Both sides acknowledged what Busby called a long-term consensual and tumultuous relationship. No criminal charges were ever filed, no admission of liability. But the lawsuit also reopened older wounds. In 2010, his ex-girlfriend Mikhail Bundy Evans filed for a restraining order, alleging an assault. The order was withdrawn shortly after, and she later filed a $4 million defamation suit, which his team called meritless. And during the Undisputed Era, a front office sports report said Sharpe was accused of choking a female production assistant, with Fox and Sharpe settling for several $100,000. His rep denied any choking, calling any interaction light and playful. The settlement closed the legal threat, but the damage to the name was already done, and the man who built an empire to protect himself was about to lose the biggest piece of it. The fallout, the brother he let down, and the rumors that won't die. The bill came due in the worst possible week, on July 30, 2025. Days after the settlement, ESPN parted ways with Sharpe entirely. He would not return to First Take, and the timing gutted him because it landed right on his brother's biggest moment. Sterling Sharpe was being inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame, making them the first pair of brothers enshrined in Canton history. Shannon was supposed to present him. Instead, Shannon's exit became the headline. He addressed it on Nightcap.
Could we wait until Monday? My brother's going into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. I really want it to be about him.
He knew exactly what it would do. He'd said it coming out would overshadow everything Sterling worked for, and it did. He apologized to his brother, and Sterling told him to stop.
He said, bro, stop apologizing. You don't have to apologize. I'm your big bro.
Shannon apologized anyway, one final time on air.
I'm sorry that I upstaged you in this manner. That was never my intent.
The man who spent his whole life holding it down for his family ended up stealing the spotlight from the brother he idolized. That's the cruelty of the timing. The financial hit was massive. Before the scandals, Sharpe was reportedly in talks for a media deal potentially exceeding $100 million as his contract was expiring. The controversies collapsed those talks. The ESPN exit alone was reported as roughly $65 million a year. Gone on the Breakfast Club, the verdict was blunt.
Shannon Sharpe is in this situation because of Shannon Sharpe. It's just poor choices and lack of discipline.
Even people who weren't close to him weighed in. Mano, who admits he and Sharpe never got along, still landed on hoping he recovers.
At the end of the day, I hope he gets out of this.
Right.
And we don't have any real problems.
And Ravens legend Ray Lewis, who'd known him for years, said he was stunned by the turn.
I'm shocked at his content.
Lewis said he'd never seen Sharpe with a drink in his entire career, that there was family history he avoided. He said they went their separate ways over the direction Sharpe's content took, but the lawsuit wasn't the end of it. In early June 2026, a new wave hit. Royce Styles, a fitness influencer who'd worked as Sharpe's cameraman and creative director, made public allegations in an interview with blogger Tasha K. The claims surfaced after Styles' ex-girlfriend allegedly accessed his phone and leaked photos and videos. Styles denied any romantic or sexual relationship with Sharpe, saying he is 100% straight, but framed his experience as part of a broader grooming pattern targeting young male influencers. On her show, Tasha K laid out how the story reached her.
And I was up at 6 a.m. this morning talking to a young lady in my DM that was really frustrated about what she found.
She described photos of Styles and Sharpe in a hotel room with Sharpe's stylist.
In the same hotel room with Shannon Sharpe's stylist, Hollywood has been romantically linked.
Styles claimed the connection began around January 2023 with a DM promising a Club Shay Shay appearance and modeling work, and alleged that Russell Hollywood Mugler helped facilitate the interactions. He alleged these professional lures were recruitment tools. Throughout, Styles denied any sexual involvement of his own and disputed how the leaked materials were being interpreted. All of it remains unverified, and Sharpe has not issued a detailed public response. These weren't new questions, though. Rumors about Sharpe's sexuality have circulated for years, often tied to his association with his openly gay former stylist, Hollywood. Sharpe has addressed it directly. He responded to the jokes,
Saying I'm gay, saying I cross-dress and I look like Medea.
He asked what the fun in it was for him. He explained the imbalance.
I get it for you. You get the key. You get the laugh. But tell me the fun in it for me.
He said his stylist being gay was the stylist's life, not his. Supporters point to his 3 children and documented relationships with women as counter evidence. So where does that leave him at 57? His on-field legacy is intact. There have been no calls for Hall of Fame revocation. His podcast survived. Club Shay Shay and Nightcap held strong listenership into 2026. The brand, as some put it, didn't break, but the man did in ways the records can't fix. He built everything for a grandmother who never got to see it. He survived cancer in silence. He guarded his privacy for decades, then watched it all spill out. He lost the network deal that would have dwarfed his NFL money, and he overshadowed the brother he loves most on the proudest day of that brother's life. That's the tragedy of Shannon Sharpe at 57. Not that he failed, he didn't. It's that a man who climbed out of a dirt floor home and into Canton now spends his nights at a grave, playing gospel, waiting for a sign that still hasn't come. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed watching this video, click on one of the boxes playing on your screen to watch more similar content.